Hi, you're watching the Jane Frankland TV show, and my name is Jane Frankland, and you are at the right place if you are a cybersecurity leader. So you might be an entrepreneur or a CISO or a head of security, or you might be a consultant practitioner, subject matter expert, or even an entrepreneur. And in today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you about events and about managing your speaking. So here's a question from Julie, and Julie writes in, I'm just going to hold this up here. Gosh, Jane, how do you do it all? So all this speaking is full of admin, it's full of forms, I've got to get over my bio and my talk synopsis, and there is just so much work to do. It is really not what I thought it would involve, and quite frankly, any advice that you could give me on how to get organized would be really helpful. So this is a great question, and it is something that I obviously, as an international paid speaker, have to deal with not every single day, but very, very regularly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through some tips that will help you to get much more organized and certainly prepared, just in case you see yourself as a speaker in the future and or are doing it right now. So tip number one is to write your bio. So you are going to need a couple of bios. You're going to need a short one and a mid-length one. And the short one is probably about 50 words. And the mid-length one is probably about 150 to 200 words. And really with these bios, they usually go in a brochure, they usually go online, and what the event organizer is looking for is for you to kind of demonstrate, really why you're going to be standing on that stage, why you're going to be sitting on a panel answering questions. So you've got to get across your credibility and you've got to get across your experience and usually the number of years that you've worked in the industry. So that always helps. Credentials help, where you've worked helps, companies that you've worked with and for also can help. And also what I like to put in mind, certainly the mid-length bio, is really what I stand for. So what I believe in, what my values are. And that really helps me to engage better with the audience and to actually build my tribe, build my community, build my club, my insecurity club, because people connect with that. So I always like to really include in my bio what I stand for and what I believe in. Number two is to actually create and design a really nice speaker's rate card. That's what I call it. And that has information about who you are and what you've done, your achievements. So usually it starts off with, say, if it's in my case, who I am, so my name, my nationality, where I live, and then also my major achievements. So things I'm most proud of and I think will be relevant to an event organizer or a company that's engaging with me. So usually when you are speaking, usually you're working with event organizers who are using you really to help drive the right audience to their event. So it's a business model. When you're working with companies, usually it's there to really position them and also maybe to help solve a problem that they have within their organization. So your speaking card helps with all of this because it enables them to get a feel for who you are and what you've done and whether or not you're relevant, for what they want to achieve. They can also pull things out from it, so that can free you up because you can direct them to your speaking rate card because that will have some information on there. The other thing that the speaking rate card also needs to have are examples of where you have spoken before in the past, and then also the topics that you speak about, usually from a headline kind of perspective. So and then also what has been said about you. So the testimonials, the feedback, the positive feedback. those things are really useful. And if you are a paid speaker, say like I am, after that you'll put your rate for various things, like, for example, if I'm an MC, so I chair events, so I've got a rate for that. I also will chair panels, so there's a different rate for that. I will also be a keynoter, so there's a rate for that. I also speak at events, and there's a different rate for that because that's slightly different to a keynote. And then also I might help them in terms of the content of the event, and usually that's included in my fee, certainly if I'm an MC. So, and then also after that, you've got your terms and conditions. So those things really help because it's a little bit of investment right at the very beginning, but it saves time in the long run and means you're not continually doing this because they've got everything, from the offset. So tip number 3 is to have some standard presentations, and really to have at least 6 of these because they will really serve you well. And when you have got 6 presentations and you've written up what they are, basically a synopsis of what those presentations are, and they include bullet points and things like that, and you've incorporated those into a Word document or a PDF, converted it to a PDF, you can just send that over to the event organizer and actually ask them to pick which presentation they would like you to do at their event. So again, it makes it very, very easy. You can always tweak your presentation afterwards so that you're not bored of speaking about the same type of thing, but essentially this enables you to cut down on a lot of time by having it in one place and having it ready for them. So tip number 4 is really the best. This is, in my opinion, it's the best. It's when you really kind of take this up a notch. And at this stage, really, it's when you actually outsource it to somebody else so they deal with all of the admin for you. And that could be your PA, it could be your VA, or it could be a speaking agent. Now, usually speaking agents will only take you on if you are in demand and you can serve their purpose or their market, basically make them money, so you will attract an audience. But they handle all of that. They'll handle your rate, they'll handle all of the interaction between the event organizer or company and you as a speaker. So that really helps. But if you don't have a speaking agent or you're not at that stage yet, then you can actually use a VA or PA, and they don't have to work for you permanently. You can actually engage with one of those for a few hours a month, and it really helps. So it takes a lot of the strain, it takes a lot of the time spent away from you, and it enables you to get on with your job. But all of them will usually need these things to be set up in order to do that. So that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Keep on adding to this conversation. If you've got any tips, then please just add them in the comments box below, because that helps everybody. And then get yourself over to Insecurity, my club, my community, my tribe, because this is a place where so much fun happens and all the action is happening, and we need you there. I need you there. The community needs you there. So get yourself over to that. There will be a link just below this video, and I hope to see you really soon. Goodbye. Has some kind of headline. Okay, let's try again.